Gentlemen, and along with Manuel Bautista, who also live in Texas, he also gonna be recognized. So now let me just go back to the outreach as to what is the purpose of this OFT. If the OFT is to become a viable organization, ladies and gentlemen, I submit to you that we should not just be a social organization. We have to touch the hearts and minds of the community. That we should not be just, I love dancing by the way, in eating, but we should also be involved in feeding the hungry, getting involved when there's a hurricane or earthquake. Basically, get out of our comfort zone and support the community. And I think if we do that, ladies and gentlemen, we will make an impact and we will be a formidable force in the community. But that takes unity, as alluded by my friend Gus. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up. I'm sorry I went 5 minutes. Have a wonderful night.
All right. Okay, I think we have a little unity going today. It's really nice to see all you guys. 2 weeks ago we were wondering if we were going to sell these tickets and get everybody in the chairs. And I heard today that they were fighting to get in, that there's 50 or 60 people more. So next year, just don't wait, buy the ticket early, please. Now, we're going to have another dance by the Philippine Dance Ensemble. Can they work good?
They're very good.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay, next.
As of now, if we could go ahead and have Bernardo de la Cruz up here, he's going to go ahead and read The Freedom from Want by Carlos Bolseon.
Mabuhay, San Antonio! I'm going to spice it up a little bit. I'm going to bring up my nephew, a recent immigrant from the Philippines, Cristiano Colete. And we were the ones in the back waving a Philippine flag, if you didn't notice us. Freedom from want. In 1943, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the president, commissioned a Filipino-American poet and writer to talk about one of the four freedoms. And this is the freedom from want. And this freedom from want is, what is that? Carlos Bolseon was an immigrant in the 1930s, immigrated to California and Alaska, basically was a farm laborer, and eventually found his life work in writing. But before that, he became a labor organizer. Remember, the 1930s was a tough time because of the Great Depression. Mexican Americans, Filipino-Americans united, and that began the Farm Laborers Union that we now know today is such a strong union. And what I want to do now is I want to read with my nephew, Freedom from Want. The want is that which we do not have. The want is that what we do want, our freedom. As Filipino-Americans, as anybody that lives in this great United States. And so it is, freedom from want.
Freedom from Want, an essay from Carlos Bolseon. If you want to know what we are, look upon the farms or upon the hard pavements of the city. You usually see us working or waiting for work. And you think you know us, but our outward guise is more deceptive than our history.
We march on through sometimes strange moods that fill our children. Our march towards security and peace is the march of freedom. The freedom that we should like to become a living part of. The dignity of the individual to live in a society of free men, where the spirit of understanding and belief exists. Of understanding that all men, whatever their color, their race, religion, or estate, should be given equal opportunity to serve themselves and each other according to their needs and abilities.
But we are not really free unless we use what we produce. So long as the fruit of our labor is denied us, so long will want manifest itself in a world of slaves. It is only when we have plenty to eat, plenty of everything, that we begin to understand what freedom means. To us, freedom is not an intangible thing. When we have enough to eat, then we are healthy enough to enjoy what we eat. Then we have the time and ability to read and think and discuss things. Then we are not merely living, but also becoming a creative part of life. It is only then that we become a growing part of democracy.
But sometimes we wonder if we are really a part of America. We recognize the mainsprings of American democracy in our right to form unions, bargain through them collectively, our opportunity to sell our products at reasonable prices, and the privileges of our children to attend schools where they can learn the truth about the world in which they live.
But we cannot believe that the resources of this country are exhausted. We cannot believe that America has no more place for us. We realize that what is wrong is not in our system of government, but in the ideals which were blasted away by a materialistic age. We know that we can truly find and identify ourselves with the living tradition if we walk proudly in familiar streets. It is a great honor to walk on the American earth.
If you want to know what we are, look at the men reading books, searching in the dark pages of history for the lost words, the key to the mystery of the living peace. We are factory hands, field hands,
Mill hands, searching, building, and molding structures.
we are doctors, scientists, chemists, discovering and eliminating disease, hunger, and antagonisms.
We are soldiers, Navy men, citizens guarding the imperishable dreams of our fathers to live in freedom.
We are the living dream of dead men. We are the living spirit of free men.
We have been marching for the last 150 years. We sacrifice our individual liberties, and sometimes we fail and suffer. Sometimes we divide into separate groups, and our methods conflict, though we all aim at one common goal. The significant thing is that we march on without turning back. What we want is peace, not violence. We know that we thrive and prosper only in peace.
We are the desires of anonymous men. We are the subways of suffering and the well of indignities. We are the living testament of a flowering race. But our march to freedom and is not complete unless wanted in.
Unless the one is annihilated. If America wants us to be living in free, then we must be living in free. If we fail, then America fails.
What do we want? We want complete security and peace. We want to share the promise and fruits of the American life. We want to be free from fear and hunger. If you want to know what we are marching. This is Carlos Bulasan in 1944, a dream of freedom from want. And we say thank you. Happy Independence Day.
Wow. Wow.
Okay,
Something, wasn't it?
that's better reading than I can do.
You know what, Vernon, we forgot.
What's
we
that?
almost forgot to tell them. We have a live silent auction over there that's going to be closing very soon. If you would, make your way over there. There's a few products. A lot of products have been sold. Go ahead and go over there and get what you can get.
Yeah, no, we really want you guys to consider